Something is happening that's never happened before. What event is about to transpire? Why are all the timelines converging? Have you seen this Schumann frequency? It's been out for days now. This has never happened since it started being recorded. Let me also add that with the Schumann frequency, it's recorded in multiple places around the world, so it's deliberately being blocked. Why don't they want us to see what's happening with the Earth's resonance? It gets a lot crazier. Why is the media pushing the last days all of a sudden this last month? The media, Mockingbird, what is their angle? Peter Thiel coming out from Entrepreneur, Pig Latin, talking about the Antichrist? Making Christian foundations come out and talk about him as the Antichrist? The same person. By the way, all that stuff that happened last year, completely unrelated, when all those orbs are flying around everywhere. Totally wonder who that was. And you don't even have to see the Schumann frequency to know that something is going on in the human brain. There's a classroom right now in Arkansas. Yet another lockdown because yet there's another student that they think may be doing something bad. This is happening every single day. Harvard basically insinuating that first contact will be November and first contact fears of alien object speeds towards Earth. Last month I showed you, of course, the new Alien movie coming out in September. But do y'all remember this specific flyer that I showed y'all? With the alien literally eating the Earth? Or how about this, a giant almost serpent alien circling the Earth? How about this great storm happening in the Earth and also the Earth unfolding? Humanity's getting crazier by the day, and it was corroborated with the Schumann frequency until it went out. We know one thing and question two things. One, what massive thing is right upon us that we are going to see maybe within the next few weeks? We'll see, but also, two, why are they harvesting our energy, our loosh? Why are they trying to make us think that certain things are coming? We are watching the conversion of all timelines, including the Mayan doomsday. Keep your eyes and your ears open, my friend. This is going to be a wild ride. Remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. You can quite literally see the demon in him, and I'm going to prove it. But first, if you don't know, Lil Nas X was just recorded in the middle of a breakdown, walking on the street looking like this. One can only guess where he came from, but I'll let you hear a little bit of this real quick.
Don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at.
Nah,
Go ahead, babe.
no.
But when you talk about demonic possession, it's very apparent on which people it could possibly and more than possibly will happen to, especially with stuff like this. Now, before I show you the demon in him and another artist, I want to draw a separation. I'm not one of those Christian influencers that just post blasphemous, evil stuff for views. You know the people I'm talking about. I only do when I feel drawn to point something out serious in the video. So we already know that being under the influence is under the influence of demons. We also know that he's obviously under the influence of something. But look how bright, how just bright his eyes are. This is a whole lot more than just normal partying. Now, coming from someone who actually does deliverance and have seen demonic manifestations, possessions, and even been hissed at by demons, here's another example from the industry of someone who is battling very serious demons.
Which ones?
Like the
Religious?
yeah.
As I see it, I just grab it. Man, this shit very demanding. This whole industry, this whole system, all this shit demanding. It's very, all this shit ran off, man. All this shit did not mean nothing, it's very demanding.
Notice the involuntary face moving. And right here he tells you.
This shit demanding, I'm very demanding. Man, there's a lot of devils that's coming in and out my door. So I'm a child of God.
To be clear, he's not talking about just devilish people walking through his house. He's saying he's coming in contact with demons repeatedly coming into and out of himself. Very common for the industry and for the rituals they do. Many are tricked in that industry. Many of them just want to get in it. But I know one thing, Lil Nas X, NBA, they can both still be saved. If you see this video and reach out to me, I can help. And God will keep you safe from every demonic assignment, threat, and any other thing they claim they're going to do to y'all. The devil's a liar. Are meteors really what they've been telling us they are? I found an awful weird video of a meteor acting very strange, but first, we just had yet another green comet going over Japan. But after watching the footage, it's just weird because these things change colors when they feel like it. So watch this real quick and tell me if you notice anything. I'm gonna slow it down in a second. Did you notice how it's continually flashing behind the cloud? Slow motion. And of course, there's much more than just meteors. There are these sprites that just happened over Spain. But let's come right back to these sprites. Alright, so we just saw how they can change brightness whenever they want, as many times as they want, right? But look at this right here. Pretty odd, as it's really slow. The camera's not slowed down and just gets really quick out of nowhere, isn't it? It's crazy. So let me get this straight. They can brighten and darken as they want to, not as they're just entering the atmosphere. And they can change speed at will. They can go real slow, then all of a sudden just take over the whole sky. It's not the perspective. This thing clearly was not moving and it wasn't bright, and all of a sudden it brightened up and went really fast. I just find it extremely odd because in the Wisdom of Solomon, it talks about how falling stars are quite literally demons that cannot hold on anymore. But that's not all that happens in the sky like you see behind me. You know, sprites used in video games is a different representation of the dimension of that character. I wonder if it's the same thing for sprites in the sky, maybe a different representation of a certain spiritual character. Everything they've taught us is a lie, so you really have to wonder, like what all is above our head being covered up by SpaceX? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Are y'all seeing what's happening at Burning Man and also Arizona? Idols are being burnt down. This gets deep because Burning Man is quite literally going back to human size. Look at this massive dust storm that's hitting Arizona and obviously Burning Man in Nevada. Now let me ask you this, is there any possible coincidence to the fact that this is happening to Burning Man, but also Tomorrowland also burnt down a few months ago? Now this video is not about Tomorrowland. You can go back and watch the video I did on this, showing y'all just how demonic it is, what's in their stage, and also what's coming out the smoke. And fast forward to now, we're having a huge dust storm at Burning Man. Also, I believe 2 years ago, there was another massive storm where people were stranded and could not even leave. I wonder why all this chaotic stuff happens to Burning Man. I'm about to show you how Burning Man is an idol. Not just an idol.
Oh my god. I don't even know what to say.
The
Guys are like screaming outside.
Covered.
Things are flying around.
It sounds like a zombie apocalypse.
So y'all are basically saying it sounds chaotic, right? I'd like y'all to meet the Wicker Man. The ancient Celtics would gather people together and even go as far as to charge people with false crimes so they could burn them alive in a stick figure, always aimed to look like a man. And they would appease their gods with the people they chose or charged with false crimes, and they would burn them and sacrifice. Yes, Pig Latin. Human sacrifice. Oh, also animals were included in the humans in the Wicker Man. And this right here is exactly what Burning Man is based on. Crazy, right? Also, they're very near to the ley line where Crowley was summoning demons. You know, the Babylon working to the Moonchild ritual. All these festivals are nothing more than pagan, occultic rituals. What do you think about this? Have you been to any pagan occultic rituals? Let me know in the comments. I remember my dad telling me about Ozfest back in the 90s, and he saw literal demons, real demons walking around in the crowds. And I'd be willing to bet that me as well as y'all have some similar stories. Let's hear them. People who live in Arizona are saying they've never seen anything quite like this. And the timing of it definitely strikes some concerns. A viewer and resident of Arizona for 35 years says he has never seen it even close to this bad. People who are trying to fit in with groupthink are sitting there saying it happens every year, but they're not even noticing the severity of this time and just how bad it got. The straight darkness across cities, visibility zero. But there is a little bit more to this story. Let me show you. So yesterday I unraveled what Burning Man really was. You can go back and watch the video, and how somehow disaster always seems to strike Burning Man. Of course, the dust storm came at the same time that everyone was getting there. But guess what was happening also at the same exact time? A massive drop in the US dollar that I don't believe we have ever even seen. It's almost prophetic in a way. You know, I showed you this orange juice, less than a gallon. That was $8 a couple days ago on Facebook. New pestilence, plagues, and viruses, and parasitic infections everywhere. The drop of the dollar, famine, inflation. There's a mightily powerful parallel brewing right in front of us. People don't retain severity. They retain complacency. Happens every year. Some can't see the signs. Can you? Y'all gotta hear this. I just heard the most crazy prophetic parallel. Satan hates marriage because marriage is a perfect prophetic parallel of how God treats us, Jesus Christ and his bride, us and our spouses. Let's go deep. Think about your marriage and your spouse and all that we go through for our spouse. The patience, the sorrow, the forgiveness, the mercy, the gentleness. Does not God do the same exact thing for us? And some people don't even know the meaning of grieving your spouse. But for those that do, get ready for this part. God knows what it means to grieve his spouse. Living the wrong way, doing the wrong things, deteriorating their own flesh and their own spirit. Day by day, God watches us make mistakes and it grieves his heart. The same exact way that you grieve your loved one when you see them going astray. Substance abuse, drinking abuse, anything at all that's grieving your heart and you see them falling away and you see them going to a bad direction. God watched me and you do the same thing. And that same exact pain and grief that you feel for that individual, even your children maybe, God feels that way about us. Finally, love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. Love is not proud. Love does not dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Who is the perfect definition of love?